Hi, everyone. I'm Marco Gonzalez. Welcome to On the Couch Live. Thank you for joining me today. It's a big day today. I know, the day after the election, so all of us are our nerves are a little there, but it is what it is. But I am so excited to welcome my guest today, Tanaye White. She is beautiful. She has such a strong message, and she was featured in this year's Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. So I can't wait to talk to her about that and everything she's been doing lately. I'll wait for more of you to join. It is a beautiful sunny day outside, which is always nice. I hope you had a great week so far. It's going to be a long one, I know. And I'm even hearing that we're going to get a cool down in the temperatures, possibly like 20 degrees, which is fantastic. That's what we want. It's fall, right? Time to bust out the coffee and just, dress in some sweaters. That would be a nice change, I think. So as always, you can view any of the previous episodes of On the Couch Live on my YouTube channel, which is On the Couch Live, or you can watch the podcast or listen to the podcast rather on anywhere you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor is another one of the providers there. And any way to listen to the shows, I'd appreciate it. I always appreciate you guys joining me as well. I see that Tanaye has joined me, so I'm going to bring her in. Let's talk.
Hello.
Hey, Tanaye, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
What a day. Isn't it a crazy day? The day after the election, I was saying, everyone's kind of on edge, and rightfully so. We're going to find out some more results down later in the week, right?
As quite a stressful time.
I know. It's just one of those things where we just have to wait it out and see where it takes us.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Exactly. So I'm excited to talk to you about this magazine here, the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. How exciting that you're featured in there. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about how this all began, because you went to school for an entirely different reason.
Yes.
And how did your path to modeling come about?
Oh, it's a crazy journey. So I was basically on like your typical path. Graduate from high school, go to college. If you want, go to grad school. I did. I went to the University of Maryland for undergrad, went to Georgetown for my master's. And while I was in my master's program, I worked for the federal government, the Department of Veterans Affairs. I worked for nonprofits. I worked for associations. And then my last job before I sort of segued into modeling was for a defense and aerospace agency, one of the largest ones in the world. And if I'm being honest, I did not see this turn of events coming at all. It was really just like oh, I can try out. Let me try. And then when I tried, I made it so far. My first year with the Sports Illustrated Swim Search, out of 10,000 women that year, I made it to the top 16. And then I was really disappointed I didn't make it. I was so confident that I had made it, but I was like, you know what? Let's give it another try. Thought long and hard about it, gave it another go, and I made it into the magazine. And it sounds easy. It sounds like this fairy tale story. It was not easy at all. Lots of sleepless nights, crying, stress, all of that. But I mean, I'm thankful for, taking that leap of faith.
Absolutely. And your determination is what got you. And I have to show, I'm going to show the photo. I mean, it is so beautiful. I mean, all of your photos, more are online, but look at this. I have to show everybody. Are you kidding me? Tanaye, stunning. Every bit of this photo. And I know you worked with my friend and your friend, Yu Sai, who is the ultimate photographer. What was that experience like?
I think it was like a childhood dream come to life, because I knew Yu Tsai from America's Next Top Model. I watched him while I was sitting on the floor in my living room growing up. So it felt like a lot of pressure at first. Like, oh my God, these are the big dogs. Like, little me, what am I doing here? And I was in my my focus zone. I'm an athlete or former athlete. I did track and field in college. So I had my let's get ready for this, competition type of
Oh,
face. And the second that I stepped onto the set, he was like, "Why are you mad at me?" I'm like, "I'm not mad." And he was like, "Well, your face is like, looks like you're mad.
oh,
Girl, this is your shoot. Like, liven up." I was like, "I'm nervous."
oh my gosh. So he totally took the mood and just like made all
Yes.
go away.
Yes, that whole day that I was shooting with him was just comedy, pure comedy. Like he would like pose with me, he would like dance with me. Like it was a whole day of just like kicking it and like laughing. And I feel like the second he said that, like all my walls came down and I was really just able to feel and live in the moment.
He is such a great guy. He was on my show, and after I finished talking to him, I just felt so good for the rest of the day. I adore him. I really do. I do.
Good vibes.
I do. But it sounds like you had the best experience. So clearly, people are looking at this and going, she is in out of control shape. I mean, ripped beyond belief. Many are watching going, what does she do? Is it your diet? Is it your exercise? Like, what's the combo?
I think it's a little bit of everything. So I've always been a very petite girl. Actually, I want to say sometimes I got made fun of it for, when I was growing up, like just being super skinny, no shape, no butt, no
Mm-hmm,
nothing.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
then once I started getting into sports, like seriously around like late middle school time, I was a gymnast. And then that inspired me to try out for cheerleading. So then I became a competitive cheerleader. I was the back spot. So I was lifting the girls
Oh, yeah. You
all
were the
by
strength,
myself.
all of it.
Yes, yes. And then from there, I transitioned into track and field. And I think that's really where like most of like my physique came from. But like I did it all the way up and through college.
Mm.
And so I think that naturally I've always been very hyper and like hyperactive. Like I was a very hyperactive child. But I think that sports really is the reason why I have my physique. And no matter how much I try to lose some muscle or like, even if like I pick out, my abs are still there. I don't know. I'm not trying to brag. Like,
Anybody at home is going, are you serious, Tanaye? Really?
yeah, I can't help it. Like even if I wanted to lose my muscles, I just can't. Maybe after I have kids, I don't know. But yeah, and then I think like to stay active, I prefer to run. I'm not a runner. I was a long jumper in college. Like I hated
Okay.
running. But
Mm,
I love the endorphins that it gives me, especially like during like, times like now with it
mm.
getting colder, seasonal depression, like you got to keep it up.
Oh, yeah.
So I love doing that. And then I love like stuff where that helps me like to meditate and recenter myself, like yoga. I really want to try Pilates, but given COVID, can't really do that right now. But like stuff where you can really center your mind and your body.
Yeah, something exactly, just to calm yourself. But
Yeah.
something about, like you said, going outdoors, that fresh air. Oh, it's every.
Yes.
I love, love, love the fresh air. So,
Yes.
on top of all of that, you went through a swim search, another one, right? And you won along with my friend Kathy Jacobs. I adore you
Yes.
both. You guys have already been selected to be featured in the 2021 Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. How
Yes.
incredible. What a feeling, again, getting picked from all these different women to be a part of this franchise.
I tell you, I really think it's just like God's grace because like out of all of the women who I've competed with over, both years, I was always the one with the least amount of experience. So I just felt very humbled and like appreciative of the fact that SI, wanted to bring me back and, saw me, to be the winner. It's just something that you really can't wrap your mind around when you're just starting out at like 26 years old and other women have been literally modeling since they were 13. It just sort
Yeah.
of it makes you feel weird, but in that same aspect, like I'm proud of this. Like I am excited to see how far I can go with everything that comes to modeling. I'm new, but
Mm.
I don't think that is in any way a detriment to me because I'm a hard worker and I will do what it takes.
Yeah, and I can tell you own it. And you know what? I can tell that you're humble as well. There was a video that you posted on your Instagram when you first went to, I believe it was like Barnes and Noble, and you saw the magazine in the stands and you literally collapsed on the floor in excitement. It almost brought tears to my eyes because I could see in your face, yes, I did it.
Yes, I think that moment was like extra special for me because I think like once you become like a top six finalist, you already know, like, okay, someone or like a couple of people will have a 2-page spread.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I hope I have the 2-page one because hopefully that means like my chances are higher of winning. But
Yeah.
like let me not even like get myself hyped up about that. Let me
Yeah. Psyched
not
out.
try that. Yeah. But I opened the page, literally the opening of the swim search in the magazine, and it was me. And
And boom.
it was a moment because not only is it me, but it's what I represent. You know, natural hair, dark skin, you know, black features, you know, like I feel like that's something that we don't see appreciated enough in the modeling industry.
Mhm.
And so for them to put that, you know, sort of front and center really just, it was a moment.
It was everything. I could see it in your smile. You know, one thing that did was heartbreaking to me was knowing that there were some people out there who were knocking you and writing nasty
Yep.
comments about your natural hair. I'm
Yep.
like, are you kidding me, people? What is wrong with you? Right?
Yeah, I always shrug off the negativity
Yeah.
because usually it comes from old men. So I'm like, you're not even in my realm. You know what I mean? Like,
Get
say what
out.
you want, but like, I mean, you're not even a woman for me to
Yeah.
really even consider your opinion.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think my dad told this to me when I was like a kid, and I had okay, so I was a dorky kid growing up, and
Okay.
so one of my aspirations was to try out for the cheerleading team. But all of the team was like these cool, popular girls who like had Abercrombie and all this stuff, and like
Mm.
I was like, oh my god, I will not fit in with this team, but I really want to become a cheerleader. Long story short, I became a cheerleader. I made the team. Some of the other popular girls didn't make the team, and I overheard one of them say like, oh, why did she make it? And so I went like crying home to my dad, and he was like, well, at the end of the day, like you made it and they didn't, so just own it. Like just like embrace it. Like this is your time to celebrate. And so I've sort of kept that mentality throughout, you know, the years. And like even when I see people saying negative stuff or, you know, maybe making comments about how I'm too muscular, I just shrug it off because at the end of the day, I love my body regardless of what you may think about it. Regardless of how you feel about yourself, I still love myself. So embrace it. It's in the magazine regardless. Enjoy.
Bottom line. And what a smart dad that was to tell you that because he's 100% right. And it's amazing that he told you that so long ago, but those words have stuck with you. So that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I love that. And okay, MJ Day, she's the Sports Illustrated swimsuit editor in chief, had
Yes.
this to say about you, quote, she's incredibly resilient and strong and brings so much value to our team. She's shown such tenacity in achieving her goals. What a beautiful quote, right?
I love MJ. She's really sweet. I don't think that, unfortunately, with the magazine, like you're always focused on the models, so you don't really get to like celebrate the editors. But all of the women on that team, including MJ, are incredible. They really are for the woman in every shape, form, or size. It's not just like a frill that they put on the
Yeah.
magazine. Like they really believe it. And MJ, like anytime, like when I walked on set, saw her, saw Yutsai, like they just hugged me and like, are you ready? Are you excited? Like they
It's-
were probably just as excited, if not more, for my first shoot. So
oh
only
yeah.
the best say.
Yeah, and the magazine has really transitioned over the years. I feel like now it's about celebrating platforms and people's, the differences of people. I want to show a couple other photos. So another beauty, Hunter McGrady,
Yes.
stunning. Look at, she is so beautiful.
Love her.
Yeah, and her messaging is, she's so positive. I like watching her as well on her Instagram. She's so herself, just like you are. I could see why the editor in chief and everyone else gravitates towards you and to people like Hunter. Also, I see that Christy Baldessari just said you are a beauty queen. She's joining us right now. I see her, but let me show you her. She has, I believe, alopecia,
Mm-hmm.
and she is absolutely stunning as well,
Stunning.
right? Killing it,
Glowing.
killing it. And I mean, and here's Kathy. Kathy is your amiga who
My
got
fellow rookie.
selected. Kathy killing it,
She
56 years
killed
old,
it. That's
right?
the She killed it, hands down.
Yeah.
I love
And,
that photo of her.
and her personality is just, I mean, you became friends with these women because you guys were on set for so long and you really bonded.
Yes. So like I don't think people understand like how long this process is. It's not like, oh, you go to swim week and then like a couple months later you already know who's, you know, made it.
Mm.
No, like you go, I want to say from July to like, let's say around February, you're still competing in a way because the editors are taking note of what you're posting. What are you doing? What's your message? Like, it's not just about you being beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. I don't
Right.
know, Marco, I don't know if you've ever been to Miami Swim Week, but like walking down the street,
Yeah.
walking to the W Hotel, everybody's stunning.
It's like, really? Is this
Yeah.
the...
Like you walked into a beautiful heaven.
Yeah.
But it's not just about beauty. And that's something that I try to communicate to the women who are competing this year.
Yeah.
You're all beautiful, hands down. There's no doubt about it. But what else? That's the key. What else? Like, what are you passionate about? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to represent if you have the opportunity to represent SI years down the line? And I think that the girls are starting to get the hang of it. You know, SI is like sort of prompting like them to answer questions and be creative and stuff like that, which I think is great. But like, it's really a whole system of like 8 months of just like really pumping out stuff, being the best you can be, modeling, of course, but like it's a process. It's not just about being a model. It's about being a representative for women today and for tomorrow.
That's right. And I did see there was a guy that tried out as well, I believe, the last 2 years. So maybe this year they'll also bridge that gap as well.
Maybe. I can't remember his name. It's escaping me. But both times that he submitted his video for the competition have been pristine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I feel like with SI, yes, we think Sports Illustrated, female, bikini. But like, again, walls are made to be broken down, you know, barriers, stigmas, all of that stuff. So I think that no matter who you are, you can do it. Like we just had our first transgender model in the magazine as well. Like there's nothing that cannot be done.
Beautiful. Valentina, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Well, you know who joined us right now? Yusai. I see he just...
Yusai!
Oh, yeah. He is so supportive. Hey, you.
Hi, Yusai.
How are you? So good to, well, see your name at least, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what's interesting? I was watching Tanaye, that you are a huge fan of Michael Jackson, and you had mentioned that your dream would have been one day to see him live. What is it about Michael Jackson that just gets you going?
I think it's sort of how I grew up. So one of my uncles, who actually I spoke earlier this year, he had 2 strokes, and it was quite an ordeal for my family. But growing up, and to this day, he's a huge Michael Jackson fan. So anytime I would be visiting him and my aunts, my cousins, like Michael Jackson is always playing in the background, is always playing in the car. He has all the dance moves down. Like it's a thing. Actually, quite a few of my uncles love Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is built into our family. Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, everybody. But I think that because he is such an icon who literally his music has transcended time, there is nothing more that I would have loved than to see him, you know, such a majestic person perform live.
Yeah, well, this is going to date me. Did you know that I actually saw Michael Jackson live? The Victory Tour in 1984 at Dodger
No, you didn't.
I swear. It was Michael, Randy, Jermaine, all the Jacksons. They put on a show at Dodger Stadium. And that's how old I am. I'm in my mid-40s. And I remember my whole family. This is when families went all together. There were 6 of us. We all went as a family. I think my sister had a glove on. One of them had a fake snake around, you know, his big
awesome. Bow. I'm jealous.
Isn't that crazy? I know.
Wow.
It was an iconic moment. I don't think I'd ever forget. So what is something about you, Tanaye, that people wouldn't believe? They'd be like, are you serious? What is something that people don't know about you?
I'm very shy. I'm very like introverted. I think that like being a cheerleader and like doing sports like taught me how to be a little more extroverted or extroverted presenting. But like I love, you know, my own time to myself. Like I get nervous when I have to meet new people or like go to social events. It actually gives me a little bit of anxiety. Yeah.
I wouldn't believe that. Look at you. You are just so like, I just feel like I've known you forever.
It's literally like something I can switch on and off. Like, and I think that because I'm an introvert, like, you know how, like, have you heard of like a social battery? Like, oh, I gotta recharge. Like,
Yes.
my battery charge drains fast, but when I turn the light switch on,
You're
like, I
boom.
can give you what you're looking for. I can give you the, hi, I'm Tanaye, nice to meet you. Tell me about yourself. Oh my God. Like, I can do that, but the second I leave, I'm like, oh, where's my
You're
bed?
drained. You're like, I'm done. Wow,
Yes.
really? Well, you're
Yes.
also, I know you're also a thrill seeker. I think I had read that you wanted to go skydiving. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, it's long overdue. I've been wanting to do it for like a few years now. I think that once COVID's over, I'm gonna definitely do it. Like, I feel like COVID has taught us all, like, do what you want to do now,
Yeah.
just in case something happens. So
Yeah.
skydiving will be the first thing on my list.
Wow. Almost like you just need to embrace that moment. Where are you going next? I'm curious. This sometimes like where you're at, the modeling, sometimes that transitions into acting. Is that something that you've pursued? I mean, clearly you look like you're straight off the movie screen. So have you thought about going in that direction? No, I'm serious. Have you thought about that?
I have. I've gotten that question a lot.
Yeah.
When I was like 13 or 14, my mom took me to like this open acting call in Connecticut, and I made it to like I got a call back, but at the time, like, we just couldn't move forward because I think they were like wanting money or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was like my first and one and only like taste of it. But I'm not against it. Like, I have a ton of actresses who are idols of mine, both on screen and off the screen. It's not something I'm against. I probably would be great as like a geeky, nerdy, goofy, or like a sassy character, because
Okay.
that's like me. But
Yeah, yeah.
if you need me to play a space alien, I can do that too.
And you'll let your battery drain, recharge, and your space.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, I could absolutely see that. I could see that. So I'm curious though, we are in this election week, and the country has been going through so much lately. I know
Yeah.
you support many things, including Black Lives Matter. How has it been for you dealing with all of this kind of, I guess, racism in America? And I hate to be
Mhm.
broad about it, but how has that affected you personally? Because I think that you talking about it will inspire many others who are going, we feel you. We get what you mean.
Yeah, unfortunately, racism isn't something that is new to me. I grew up in Connecticut. I was one of a very few group of Black people in my town.
Mhm.
None of my teachers were Black. Like, the only Black people I had in my life were my family. And then like my extended family, obviously, but they did not live in Connecticut. It was just me and my like immediate family who lived in Connecticut.
Okay.
So like I would hear snide remarks from people of all ages, and getting made fun of for my hair, my skin, calling me names. Like, it was definitely an ordeal. But I think that fast forward to today, I think that unfortunately we have an administration right now who encourages that and doesn't really talk down to being he doesn't really, how do I put this,
Mhm.
he doesn't, I don't know. But I think that it's important for us to have a leader in this country who is against bullying, who is against racism, divisive rhetoric, all of that. I think that more than ever, given the times, we need to all come together collectively. And right now, we just don't have that in our nation. So I think that's why we're all on the edge of our seats to
Mhm.
see what happens in this election. Are we going to have, that unfortunate instance happen for the next 4 years, or
Okay.
are we going to finally see change and start seeing peace and harmony finally?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. We can all just pray that, the week goes the way that everybody's hoping. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Whichever
yeah,
way whichever way you're feeling that,
right,
the result is what people are hoping for.
right.
But I agree with you. I think that peace is needed, and let's hope that's what we get. You know?
Peace, yes. And I feel like over the last few days, I've been a little more open and like vocal about like political stuff.
Mm,
And I never want to discourage anyone from like being like, if you're a Democrat, you're a Democrat. If you're independent, you're independent. If you're a
right.
Republican, you're a Republican. That is okay.
Right.
Vote for who you feel is right. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, the person you vote for is representing of what you also support. So it's not about like whether you're on this side or this side. It's about the fundamentals, the values that each person holds. So when you're voting for someone who supports racism and the KKK and stuff like that, you really have to take a step back and look at yourself. does that reflect you as well? And would you want other people who are victims of those groups to, be harmed? Like, it's more than just like, oh my God, we're still going to be friends even if you are voting for the. No, it's
Right.
about what does it really represent? And does that reflect you? Because if it reflects you, unfortunately, I cannot be associated with that negativity.
Yeah, yeah, beautifully said. I mean, you just have to be authentic to yourself, and what you believe is kind of what you are. So
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, beautifully said. I'm looking at all the people that are joining. There are so many fans of yours. I mean, they're saying hi. They're saying you are the sweetest. They really are embracing you. We're getting a lot of virtual waves. So isn't that great to
Nice.
see? Somebody said saw her on SSK. What is that? Is that a show or what was that?
SSK. I'm not sure myself.
Okay, I don't know. I thought maybe there's a show that I don't know about, but it is great to see everybody waving to you. And I am so glad that we had a chance to finally connect. And again, the magazine, Sports Illustrated Swimsuit issue, everybody has it. I mean, it's interesting. Jasmine, who is in the center, she also talked about having issues with people in her natural hair, which is it just boggles my. I
Insane.
can't even comprehend. You are so beautiful. I could tell from the inside, but clearly on the outside as well. It just boggles.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's a journey.
It is a journey. It is a journey. Well, I so appreciate you taking the time to join me here on the couch, and I hope we can have another conversation about life in general. You are so inspiring to me, and you just kind of elevate me a little bit, and I appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank you.
I do. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Maybe next year when we have a year under our belt and see what happens, maybe I'll be an extra actress.
Yes. Wouldn't that be epic? I would love to hear that.
Well, we just
Well,
spoke it into the universe, so.
okay. It's out there. Well, Tanaye, thank you so much. Take care of yourself, and let's see how this week goes.
Thank you, you too. Stay safe.
I'll see you. Enjoy.
Bye.
Okay, bye. A true beauty. Wow. So great talking to Tanaye. And again, the issue is the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. You can grab it still on newsstands now. And how great is it that she and Kathy Jacobs will be featured in next year's swimsuit issue as the rookies? Fantastic. Thank you for joining me. I'm Marco Gonzalez, and I'll see you next time right here on the couch. Enjoy your week.